Completing a project on time, staying within budget, and keeping both workers and clients satisfied is no small feat. Project Management Institute Manitoba supports organizations and individuals at every stage of their career journey through advocacy, networking, collaboration, research, and education. With the launch of the Women in Project Management Mentorship Program, PMI Manitoba aims to inspire a new generation of leaders. Let's get into it.
My name is Bumi. I'm the board member. I'm a director for outreach and strategic partnerships, and also for women in project management with the Project Management Institute of Manitoba. I'm also a project manager and program manager with the City of Winnipeg. And it's great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to have this chat with you.
No worries, excited to have you.
I'm Natalia Petrikin. I am the Director of Marketing with PMI Manitoba. I've been with the board, I'm going to say it's almost 4 years. Wow. Yeah, it doesn't feel that long, but yeah, almost 4 years. This is my second role. Prior to that, I was the Director of Networking Events. So I believe I'm coming up on my second term. Yeah, my second term and second year in my second term. I also work as a project manager with WBM Technologies. The journey with PMI Manitoba has been one that's extremely interesting, being a immigrant and, participating in organizations that volunteer and try to bring good to the community and do good in the community. It's always something that interests me, and it's just an absolute wonderful experience to be involved in something of this nature for the past 4 years.
Hello, my name is Mayra Matos. I'm chair of Women in Project Management, and I'm very proud to serve all women because Women in Project Management has been a program of PMI Manitoba with the local purpose of serving women in project management in excel their careers. So I'm starting this position the last year, and I feel that our objective and our goal is to make connection, make grow their career. Also, I'm industrial engineering, and I have more than 18 years of experience in project management and all the operation in different industries as shopping centers, manufacturing, and financial companies.
Awesome. Wow. Well, I'm really excited for the conversation today because someone's thinking about project management. They're like, how hard can it be to manage a project? You just deal with a couple of people and you just get your day going on. But for anyone who's actually in charge of a project, you realize how much work, organization, and dedication it takes to make a project successful. But before we get into there, let's start with PMI Manitoba. What is this organization and what does it do here in Manitoba?
You're setting me up. So PMI Manitoba was founded many, many moons ago, a chapter of PMI Global. So there's a global organization that governs the project management community across the world. PMI Manitoba is one such chapter of that organization. We manifest that we want to be the de facto organization in Manitoba that project managers can come to and look to for structure and organization of the PMI, the project management community. So I know that it's been around, I don't want to guess, it's been many years. I think it's 1954. I don't want to guess.
Well, either way, we can find out afterwards.
It's on our website.
It's on there. It's out there.
So it's on our website. And that is just one of the things that we try, one of the goals that we try to push here in Manitoba, just to be that organization that project managers can look to for guidance, for community, and for structure.
As we're looking around, each of you has distinctive experiences and things that you've gone through your various roles. Let's go through that. When we're looking at project management, for each of you, what is one thing that you think you're incredibly successful at in your roles as project managers? And what are maybe one challenge that you've experienced within, managing a project? Set expectations for individuals because, there's always highs and lows when working on something.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll start. So for what I've found most promising or what I've really liked about project management, I find that stakeholder management for me is very key. It's like the foundation of everything in project management. If you're unable to manage your stakeholders properly, you're unable to engage with them, then there's a lot of difficulty or challenges with the project, even if technical work is going on really well. So I found that to be one of the areas I've been able to manage quite effectively, engaging well with my stakeholders, with partnering with them, collaborating with them, coordinating their activities, aiming towards successful launches of projects, of different products. I find that for me has been really key, making sure that stakeholders are comfortable with the work being done, they're able to get their work done, they're able to get the resources they need, and making sure everybody is able to work well together, teamwork. I think for me in project management, that has been really key, and that has helped me achieve lots of success on my projects. And then for some of those challenges, you find that getting people to buy into some of these ideas you have to make sure the project is well done or well carried out sometimes can be pretty difficult because everybody has their own idea of how things should be done, but we're trying to work with project management ideals and methodologies, so why do we have to do it that way will be one of those questions. Or you've been doing well so far, why are you changing things? So getting people to actually buy in, which also still boils down to stakeholder management. So in as much as it's one of the best things for me, it's also something that you would really need to manage with sensitivity. Change management can be tough on projects. So making sure that I'm able to maneuver around that has been one of the challenges I've worked on really well.
So on the heels of what Bumi just said, for me, I think I have a double-edged sword as well. So for me, one thing that's key in project management is communication. And communication is key right across all facets of life, right? And I feel like being able to communicate at levels where your stakeholders are engaged, where they can understand what you're saying, where they can fully relate to what you're saying and how that will impact them is truly instrumental, because then that allows them to be more engaged, be more understanding of what you're trying, the idea that you're trying to put across. And more often than not, that also helps them to, especially if a stakeholder that needs to give approval or anything like that, it also helps them and pushes them in that direction. But I also find that communication can be not as great as we want it to be, and where you have that downfall or that gap is oftentimes where we face a lot of challenges in project management as project managers, right? When you're trying to lead that project and you're communicating, there can be too much communication, there can be too little communication. So finding that balance is always key. There's also importance to how you communicate also, especially living here in Canada, where there are people from various backgrounds, various ethnic groups, just different styles of communication is also key. Communication is great. It needs to be good. It needs to happen because we want our stakeholders to be engaged. But then there's also that other side of the sword where communication it can really break everything. So it can really make or break everything.
Well, definitely. If you're not like really precise or articulate or have like a perfect balance between the logistical versus like common knowledge sort of thing, like people might get confused. So you need to have that. But, if everyone's just sending email after email after email, you're like, what's going on with this thread? What were people originally trying to say? And like you can get lost a little bit in there.
Yeah, you touch on something else that's important. You say emails, right? In this global world where the company I work for is not even in this province, a lot of the projects I'm managing, the people are not here. So most of my communication it's emails, right? Sometimes you just need to pick up that phone and speak to someone because there's email communication, there's verbal communication, right? Body language, all those things. And those play a very important role also. So our jobs are not as easy as we think. Most people make it out to be.
I very agree with Bumi and Natalia. And I also add that it's very important to have a clear objective. The communication is really, really important for team building. And also, all of the members have to be focused in their role because we have to achieve goals, we have to achieve times. So if everyone knows how to do it and use all the tools, also we use a lot of chat, no? Because it's not only the email, because you have to wait the time that she can read and answer you. I believe that more effective is the chats. And also it's very important we make a call anytime. So I believe teamwork is very, very important for develop and achieve their goals.
Okay, so just to follow up on some of the things we were talking about before about the establishment of the chapters, PMI was established or founded in 1969, and the Manitoba chapter in 1994.
Yeah, agree.
I went back and I was able to verify that. So yeah, we started 20, is that 30 years ago? Is my math correct? Yeah.
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
And, we had a recent event where we had a lot of the previous presidents. We've had several presidents who've been there for years, way back when they just thought of starting something small. And here we are now, we're quite a large organization. So it's way back, but it still kept itself relevant and active within the Manitoba society.
Yeah, and you mentioned Bunmi. I think we have over 1,000 members, right? We do have over 1,000 members as a part of our chapter, which makes us one of the, not the largest, but we're still up there across North America. Yeah, we have a fairly sizable chapter here in Manitoba.
During your times at PMI Manitoba, and you're mentioning it's been 30 years of various presidents and individuals, and things change, especially as technology develops. Developing a project has changed just as quickly as technology has. What are some things that you've noticed just maybe in the short times that you've been involved with PMI Manitoba?
One of the big things for me as it relates to change, so when I did my project management training years ago and my certification many moons back, there was this approach that project management was structured. We call it the waterfall approach, where everything is done in sequence and there's a structure and this has to be done before that and this is it. But one of the things that we've seen happening is just in the changes in how the world works. We are now adopting what we call an agile approach, where things are a little bit more, I don't want to say fluid, but they are, and a little bit more flexible. And that is just to account for reality and really how things really work, right? Because before, even though we had this structured approach, what you found that was happening is when you try to apply that approach to different types of projects, it may not necessarily have been the approach that you needed to take the project through to completion. But now with the agile approach, you find that things can be a little bit more flexible, a little bit more fluid, and then we kind of use whatever approach, or maybe a hybrid approach, which is a combination of both, to apply to a specific project. And then that helps us as project managers to keep our stakeholders more engaged, to keep our stakeholders more involved, and they're a little bit more understanding then, because then we're not like, do this, do that, it has to be this way, right? Because oftentimes once you try to put structure to anything, people are going to retaliate. People don't like change, they don't like structure oftentimes, right? They want to just do what they want to do, rather than having someone, okay, you need to do it this way, and they're like, who is she? Why is she telling me to do this? What does she even know? She's a project manager. She is not a subject matter expert, right? She's just here to get things done. She wants to know, when is it going to start? When is it going to be done? People don't like that, right? So now that we have this agile approach to project management, it really helps us to be able to have things a little bit more flexible. And then by that, we're now able to engage more with the stakeholders.
Well, and then you can also work within the strengths of individuals, right? Like if you just have this hard, rigid approach to everything, someone might not work as effectively within that method, but they might work much more effectively in a different area.
And that's what we're seeing today, actually. Yeah.
I agree with that, because we are able to make changes midstream. You have different sprints on the agile projects, and so if something's happening, you can quickly switch someone around and make changes. And then it also helps because you can have your product ready in phases, because you can have this particular aspect of it ready. And so the business or the stakeholders are able to see something, and they're able to visualize what you're going to be, what they're going to be finishing with. And so they see, okay, so this module is ready, and they can see that, and then they are more invested to keep going than when you're going to have to wait 5 years before you see the whole project. So now every year or every 2 weeks, there's something to show and something for them to look through and say, yeah, this is what we're looking for. This is where we're going. So, and then if someone is not able to meet up, you can always have a switch and that. So the agile approach has been, I think, revolutionary in changing project management practices today.
Yes, I believe that it's very important, the flexible that we have to lead with the project, because also the client like to participate. They have to be involved in all the develop of the project. No, because it's not that the all time that you present all the information and the project to the client, because we like to engage them now. So if they participate in the start to the end is better. We will build a better product for sure.
You know, as we're looking at that evolution from that more flexible model, PMI Manitoba is launching a new Women in Project Management Mentorship Program. Let's talk about that and the important role that women play within project management. You know, just from studies and data, the more diversity, whether that's newcomers, gender and identity within different projects, the more successful projects and initiatives are when you have that diversity of thought and mindsets coming in to address various different problems.
Yeah, so we sat down, we thought about it. We have lots of women now in PMI Manitoba, lots of immigrants, a lot of women who are looking to change jobs or change roles, who are looking to project management as somewhere where they would like to be or become project managers. So we thought about it. How can we make a difference? How can we help out? How do we make a change? How do we make it easy for people to transition and people to settle down as they come in? And then if you're looking for new roles, how do we move from here to there? And we thought about it. We have lots of very experienced project managers in PMI Manitoba and within women in project management in particular. And we thought, how can we give back? How can we help out? How can we facilitate change for our women? And so we thought about it. We could be mentors. We could have a program that we would encourage women to participate in. And then as they do that, they have mentors who can help them out if they're making that change, or they can be mentees if they're looking for a change. And so we had that, and we came up with this program, and it's been great working on the team. I'm sure Myra has loads of information for you there, but it's something we've worked passionately on, and it's something we are looking to launch on the 26th. Like you said, we have 6 mentors and 6 mentees for our initial launch, and then we're going to be cycling that 6 months cycle every year going forward. And we've had loads of applicants, people looking to be part of it. And yeah, so Myra, maybe you want to give him some more details.
Thank you, Bumi. Yes, we are very, very happy to launch this initiative, the mentorship program, because we provide guidance, fostering connection and empowering the professional growth of all the women involved in this sphere of project management. Also, we selected 6 mentors, really, really great professionals with a lot of experience in the area. And the best thing is that they like to share their experience with the people that they start their career and like to know how to achieve their goals, no? Because, there's a lot of immigrants, different cultures. I'm, for example, Latin American, and when I arrived here, I noticed that the culture was so different. So how can you grow in your company? So these people can share their experience and have to be a role modeling for them, no? Also, the benefits that we believe that they can give with this mentorship program is the skill development, the career advancement, also the networking opportunities. I believe that PMI give a lot of opportunity to networking in this kind of events. And the people can connect. For example, in the event of 26, we make a lot of activities to promote the connection with the other people, no? Because, I believe that if you share your experience with other, the women will be feeling empowered to grow in this project management sphere.
We hear a lot about networking and the importance of connections between various different sectors. When we're looking at the project management sector, what are the benefits of networking and connections?
I believe that the networking around the world is the best way to learn about other experience, no? Because in Project Management Institute, we have a different kind of professionals, no? That make a project, for example, in the manufacturing, in the finance, in the construction area, and we can share their experience and also share different methodologies around the world that they are using, no? Because we don't only offer presential events, also online events, and all the people can participate.
Let's say you're going to one of these events and you're going to interact with someone. How would you engage in that conversation and build that network for someone who might be visiting Manitoba or in like a completely different kind of project sector?
Do you want to start, Natalia, or should I?
You can go ahead.
Yeah, I guess my first thing would be to introduce myself. Usually we would have a pin or a tag that has our name on it. I'll just bring that out because it's not everybody that would be able to pronounce my name easily. I'll do that and then and ask if this was the first time being here in one of the PMI events and if they're enjoying the event so far, and then introduce myself, where I work, what I do. Usually that's always an icebreaker. Oh, I work here. Oh, I'm a student. But I would really love to be, I'd like to be a PM and all that. Usually that would ease us into the conversation, and then we'll start talking. What do you do? How would you like to do things? I'm looking for a job. We usually have a lot of people who are looking to move on to the new role. Oh, this is what I've done. Have you applied? This is what helped me. I think giving my story has always been an effective way to communicate or to network, connect with people. Oh, I came this year and it took me this amount of time. I did my exams. I had interviews. These are the type of things you would expect because a lot of people are really looking to have that kind of information. They know they can apply, but they're not sure what to say, especially if they're coming from different cultures or different backgrounds, like Myra mentioned. So that helps out. And then after a while, can I have your LinkedIn connection or can I have your phone number? And then we take it from there. You see, usually they would reach out because everybody's looking to move into, they see you are comfortable, you are happy in your role, they want to go there. So making sure I connect in that way. Oh, I joined PMI Manitoba 5 years ago. When I joined, I didn't have a job, but I connected with people. And then I take them around. Sometimes I could see Natalia passing and, oh, Natalia, have you met this, and then that's how we keep connecting and we get things going and everyone is happy.
So not very different from Bonmi's approach. I find that a lot of our networking events tend to attract a lot of students that are doing the PM courses at the different universities here. So I find that oftentimes they know us, but we don't necessarily know them because we're board members. And once they're doing the PM course, they will get involved in the community, maybe going on our websites or whatever socials they use. So more often than not, they will know you, but let's say they don't. So very similar to Bonmi, you'd go, you introduce yourself. One of the things that I find is always a good networking piece for me is sharing your story. Once you start sharing your story, people tend to see you as vulnerable depending on what you share. But once you start talking openly about yourself, sharing your journey, it's always that easy icebreaker to get people talking to you. I'm a big talker. So yeah, sometimes I'm nervous, maybe not so much all the time. So I'll talk, but I find that helps people to talk back to me. And like Bonmi says, we usually exchange contacts. So more often than not, because it's a professional network, it's going to be LinkedIn. Then we engage from there on. They will start sharing stories like, whether they're a student, whether they just moved here, what they're looking to do, one of the things I ask, how soon are you going to be done? Are you going to want to move into the PM community here? Because you also find that a lot of the students or a lot of immigrants, though they're doing the project management course, they do have other areas of expertise from their home country. More often than not, they were engineers, doctors, lawyers, whatever it is. Like I've seen so many, it's wide, right? And even that in itself leads to conversation sometimes, right? Because we're talking about project management and that's common ground, but I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know anything about that. So sometimes we'll have conversations on other areas also. And like, project management is applicable to all professions, right? So it's a profession in itself, but it's applicable to all areas. So we have conversations about that as well, right? I find also that networking helps to build confidence. It's something that is lacking and is, for want of a better word, not necessarily lacking, but it's questioned when you relocate from your home country where you're much more confident, where you're much more comfortable. Now you're in this new environment, you're trying to settle, you're trying to do school, you're trying to meet people, you're trying to network, you're trying to find a job, you're trying to find all these things, right? So that oftentimes, crushes that confidence, or it kind of puts it on the background. So I feel like our community at PMI Manitoba helps to rebuild that confidence too, right? You're in this space where, people are nice, people are welcoming. I always say they don't call it friendly Manitoba for no reason. People are generally friendly here, right? So I find that we create that environment also for our members, where they can be confident, where they can feel that they have role models. I think Bumi mentioned, they want to know where you work. So once you share that, they see that as an opportunity. So it's something that attracts them and they want to be members, they want to remain members. So I believe that our community is great for networking, like excellent for networking. If you meet our president, he'll tell you his story. He got his first job, very good job here, just by networking, right? Just by simply accepting a coffee date from the president at the time, right? So, right, that's all it took, right? So yeah.
Myra, let's talk a little bit more about this Women in Project Management Mentorship Program. Bumney mentioned that you're going to look at it like about 6 months. Like you have some people, mentors and mentees involved. What are kind of the next steps after that? And how can people, reach out and get involved if this is something that interests them?
The first step will be looking for mentors and mentees. And for sure, we'll look for people that have a lot of experience to share for mentors, and also the mentees that have the time and they like to achieve the goals and learn about the skill developments and how to manage their career in Canada. No, we close this phase, and after we launch the mentorship programs, we start with the orientation session. We give all the guidelines and guidelines about how can they develop their goals. And also they have a different objectives, no? They have to define what is these goals. And after that, they will have meetings bi-weekly so they can follow up how they manage this mentorship program. Also, we give a lot of information about that. And also we develop tips or topics that they have to take in every month. So I believe that all the people have the base about how to grow in project management. And also the mentors will give us specific information about the goals that they like to achieve, no? And after the 6 months, we will make some metrics, surveys, and review the KPIs that we define. And after that, we celebrate the close of this mentorship program and open a new batch for this.
Very exciting. So if someone's listening to this conversation and interested in learning more about PMI Manitoba, where can they go?
I'm going to say the best place to go is pmimanitoba.org. That's our website where we have all information. That's a good place to start because then that will then lead you to the different places where you need to talk to persons about the different events. So if you need to find out information on women in project management, you can go to pmimanitoba.org or executive dinner is
and then
there
also on
as
LinkedIn,
well as an
we
event.
do have some information
That's going to be for specially invited
so
guests.
you can
So
easily
we
go
as
to
board members are
search
trying
for
to invite
PMI
people
Manitoba.
in our
We have a
community
lot of
to that
details on
event,
our upcoming
even though it's
events,
still on the
especially
website.
for
So
the
there's
Women
information
in
there
Project
as well.
Management
So I'd
Mentorship
say,
launch,
Bunny, do you
program
agree?
launch, and then we also have
PMImanitoba.org is the best
some
place to go.
information about the executive dinner. And
Yeah.
then for other events, you could go to the website, or everything is on there.
Bunmi, Myra, Natalia, thank you so much for joining me today to have this conversation about project management. Hopefully a lot of people are inspired and are interested in reaching out. And as you're mentioning, if people are nervous, like those opportunities to connect, you never know what door will open.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good point, Rand. Like you just never know, right? You just never know. Networking is something that's extremely important, and it's something that we advocate for in our chapter.
Yeah. And we've had several people actually get jobs from networking. We've met people who were willing to have them reach out and connect, and then they've been able to get something from there. So it opens lots of doors. So we're happy to help, and we're happy to make sure that transitioning and settling here, and whether from job to job or from just coming into the country, everything, we're happy to help. So the PMI Manitoba is there. WIPM is also willing to help as much as possible.
Have any stories you'd like us to share or communities we should highlight? Leave a comment on our social media or reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk. This was You Talk. And have yourself a good one.